Yo, so I'm back with another video for you, and in this episode I'm going to be giving you a review of the BMW S1000RR.
Yeah, boy.
Whilst taking it to my MOT and hopefully seeing if it passes with a ridiculously loud exhaust. So that is the BMW S1000 into the MOT now. So we'll see how it is. I'm in Sudbury, TTT Village, and you can see there is an absolute phenomenal amount of bikes in here, as far as the walls pretty much, and even in the MOT bay in the back there. I'll show a video. It is rammed full of bikes. So we're gonna have a little cup of tea and then wander around these bikes because they're forever changing. They're all for sale. People bring them in, private sales, and then they get fixed, done up, and then put into the workshop here for sale. So let's have a look. There she is. There she goes. He's obviously pulled that into the workshop now, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. Honestly, this is one of my favourite places to come visit. Look, someone's just stuck a little toy one in there. Might buy that one. You know, they have a whole variety of these huge American bikes. Again, that is not a bad price at all for a bike like this. They've got all the Hardys here. They've got all the sport bikes down there, and all the dirt bikes.
Pulling up black windows once you go down. You must be crazy if you think that I'ma slow down. But wanna hear it talking shit from the drama. Keep it coming, I'ma send you to your mama. Mr. Whip, 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 get the gun down. Dropping bodies in the place till the sun's out. Can't fuck with this, I'm going to try. Just when the bullets fly, I'm the last one to die.
It's crazy, different helmets, different brands are different sizes. So the most used Rossi helmet I have, because all of my helmets are actually Rossi replica helmets, is the Taiwan, and that's a medium. This one here, what I've just picked up, I really like that wing on the back there, that really enlarged wing, which makes it look really slick and streamlined. This is small, however, when I just tried it on, it actually fit pretty bang on. Excuse the hair in the face because I haven't got my balaclava on, but that is super snug. There's no movement, and the pads are pressing right on the bone part, which is like a newer design thing. So in between that cheekbone and my jawbone, the padding sort of dips away and allows my mouth to move. Don't know if you actually heard any of that because obviously I had the helmet on. Essentially, they've got these helmets here. This would be a nice colour match for the BMW, and unlike a lot of places, they're actually reasonably priced. That's £200, which is extremely cheap for a helmet per se. And none of these were here the last time they came here, so this is obviously a new thing that they've got. They also have obviously loads of parts and clothes down there, and the standard helmets down there. But up here, again, £400 for a full carbon fibre helmet is extremely cheap. Back from the MOT, and actually had to shoot off to the gym because I was training someone, but it was a big fat fail basically for the BMW.
Oh my God!
Essentially, the wheel bearing at the front is starting to go. It's not completely gone, but he kind of showed me in how to check it. You got the wheel up in the air and you basically turn it like that, and the wheel bearing's going slightly dry. There was a tiny bit of play, and he actually said if it was any other bike and not basically one of the fastest, if not the fastest road bike that you can get, 200 mile an hour bike, he would have put it as an advisory, but because of the power that it has, he doesn't want that front wheel seizing up when putting the hammer down. Also at the back with this tail tidy, it's very smart, it's very small, however the indicators in there are too close together apparently. They need to be 17 centimeters away from each other, because apparently in the dark at distance, if you've got your indicator on, it's hard to be able to tell which one is actually on. So they were the two main points that was actually making the bike fail for the MOT, and also the advisories were just that the indicators had a slight hyper flash, and also the exhaust was loud. But he's not worried about that. But I'm now going to give my honest review of the BMW S1000 2014 with the iconic asymmetrical lights, okay? And yes, if you haven't noticed already, I've got one stealth on here and one normal, because I'm trialing the stealth, and at the moment I think I might actually have to go back to the normal because it's extremely hard to see stuff in this one. So I'm grateful that I only done one and not both. So first and foremost, main thing that I like about the bike in my review is going to obviously be the speed and the power.
Oh God, it's so good.
This is a 200 horsepower bike stock without the different exhaust system on the KO exhaust system, etc. So it can go 198 miles per hour stock, and honestly, with the inline four, the throttle response is instant, and it just feels like it can just keep going and going and going. In first gear, supposedly you can hit 100, but I would never try that because I feel like I just blow the engine. So second thing, the electronics. This is the most advanced bike that I've ever owned in the electronic compartment. Okay, it has 4 different modes. It has a race, it has a sport mode, it has a rain mode, and it has a slick mode. So basically all of them have the ABS, the smart suspension, and basically when you go to slick, everything is turned off. Like there's no ABS, the smart suspension is hardened, and it's just like you're on tracks, you're on slicks basically, and then it goes down and down the more that you're changing it, if you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it is super advanced in that sense. Don't get me wrong, the Gen 3 is probably even more advanced, but I have heard reviews that in the Gen 3, with that being so advanced, the throttle response is actually slightly less because it's thinking of the things before you're actually planting the throttle. That goes hand in hand with the handling. The handling is great. In the corners, I feel like it's just allowing me to lean, especially with them tyres on. I think them tyres must be giving it so much more grip as well. I think I've got Michelins on both, or Bridgestones and then Michelins, which are both top end tyres, and that just gives me proper confidence throughout them corners. I can weave around the country roads as long as I can see through the corner pretty confidently on this. Stock with the bike is Brembo all around.
Obviously, that's the perfect scenario.
So the braking is good, because if you know anything about bikes or even cars, you'll know that Brembo is basically the top of their game for the brakes. So you need to be able to stop when you've got a bike that is this fast. If you didn't have the top of the range stopping power, it would be almost pointless. You don't want to actually be go, go, go as much as that's fun, because there will be times where you need to slam on and you need to get around stuff, and without them brakes you wouldn't be able to do so. So the next two go hand in hand with each other. This bike obviously looks the business. It is still very slim, which I've spoken about before. I like the fact that it's 1000 cc's, but yet it's almost, if not as slick as my R6, so I can weave in and out and still filter very effectively. And also this KO exhaust, I didn't pick this exhaust myself, it was actually put on there by the previous owner. However, I do absolutely love that short exhaust. If anything, I prefer the short exhaust to the longer exhaust, not only because of the sound, but I just prefer that look. But this exhaust is very, very loud with the baffles in, so it takes me, I need to get some earplugs basically, because every time I go and ride and I come back, I can't hear for a good hour afterwards, so I definitely need to invest in earplugs. That's with the baffles in. I took them out one time and was setting off car alarms, so that's further, no more said.
That was legitness. Yeah, it was.
The display screen, it has a mixture of the standard rev count with the needle, and it also has the tech display where you've got the modes, you've got your trips. Also you've got heated grips on there, which comes as stock, which is quite surprising given it's pretty much a track bike, but in this country that is actually very beneficial.
When it's cold outside.
And I used them for the first time the other day and it worked wonders. So tech wise and screen wise, very good. I can always see the I'm never struggling to see any of the lights. They're super bright if something comes on, but not distracting because of the way that it's angled. And just to wrap it up, yes, it is an aggressive position, it is an aggressive bike, it's a super sport bike, but if you're used to super sport bikes like I have, I've only owned super sports, so
that's what I've been used to. For me, you can take this out on the track and give it an absolute blast, or you can take it out for a cruise and go on like a group ride or something, which I also have done.
Delicious.
And yeah, it's for everybody basically, as long as you're comfortable in that aggressive position. And if you get yourself one of these like 50p clips, then you have that cruise control basically built in there, so you're not absolutely caning your wrist. But there it is, the BMW S1000RR. Failed the MOT on stupid things, but I think it's an absolute great bike, and it probably is still my dream bike, which I'm over the moon to be able to own. And yeah, we'll see what's next. I am going to change a few things on there. I'm going to put some different clips on there, so maybe if this gets enough likes and comments, etc., I'll do that and film it. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, let's make some gains. Boom.